Hi, how are you today? My name is Moises Camacho. I'm a local artist, and today we are here with a beautiful mural from Vasquez, one of the most renowned local artists. He was a Chicano artist, more active during the um, Chicano movement over the 70s, 80s, and he painted this mural at that time. This is actually a restoration that the family Vasquez did for the museum, and based on the elements that I have from him, I can tell you guys that this mural is a rendering of the Conquista. Um, Most of the artists at that time they have this concern about the concept that we have, the cultural concepts that we have through the years that are based on the symbiosis of the European and Native American culture. So one of the elements of this discussion is that what is uh, what is the meaning of the conquista? It was a was an encounter of the two worlds, or that was actually an invasion. There was a big discussion during that time with the artists because we want to through this question we have to define what is the meaning of being Chicano, being Mexicano, or being some other adjectives like paisa or mojado or some other things. That was very important because this part of the history has been a really meaningful discussion in not only in politics but also in the culture field. So we have right here he painted in this area the cabeza olmeca, which is the Olmec. The Olmec culture is one of the oldest branches of the native Central American cultures. The Olmecs actually they developed the Aztec calendar. The Aztec calendar, the Sistema de Medición del Tiempo, it comes from the Olmecs and a little bit older. So this culture is really important. That's why I need to paint the cabeza. This is part of the six big, huge stones, monolithic stones that you will find in the Campeche area. And it's part of the Hispanic tradition. And then we have Moctezuma, which was the last Tlatoani that the conquistadores faced when they get into the Mexico City, Mexico. What is right now Mexico City? They used to be Tenochtitlan. So the encounter of these cultures take place in Tenochtitlan, and he is at that time the main Tlatoani, the main authority. And the end of this character has a very tragic final. So it's also important for history to depict this character. So then we have the trajineras, the old system of growing food at that time in Tenochtitlan. And we have the maguey, which is the root of the pulque, which was the divine drink. We used to drink pulque when there was important festivities in the Hispanic culture. So everybody get drunk, and some of them they say they get these hallucinogenic experiences. I don't know. I haven't eaten. Right. So then behind we have the Chichen Itza pyramid. This is not part of the Aztec culture, but it's part of the Mayan. And it's important to clarify that the Mayan, Olmec, and Aztecs are different tribes, different branches of the same root, but they are different cultures. They spoke different languages and they have different way to celebrate the culture. They are they are sister cultures, but they have different characteristics. So then we have Hernan Cortés. Hernan Cortés is really important also, like I say, for our culture because he is the main protagonist of the what we call the invasion of America because he brought with a small amount of Spaniards. He accomplished the whole warrior mission um, to conquer the Mexico Tenochtitlan, which at the time I think some writers calculate 250,000 people in there, and some other people the number is uncertain, but it was a big city, beautiful city. So he is very important in the context of the conquest of America, because he was the main head of this little army, and he get through the alliances and deceptions and a lot of arguments to get he was a very intelligent guy, but he does a lot of word tricks, and he does a lot of underground strategies to get to the Tenochtitlan. And some people defend him because he was very intelligent, and some people say he was a bad guy because at the end, he defeated the army of the Mexicans. It's still on the table of discussion. And then we have the conquistadores with the Franciscanos. The Franciscanos was the first order to came right after Hernan Cortés, and they basically helped to develop this system to re-educate the indigenous population. For them, it was important to convert the old Indians, because when they came up right after the military conquest, there was a lot of escaramuzas, a lot of revueltas, a lot of uprisings all over the place, because of course there was a lot of confusion, and most of the population don't want to convert to the new religion, to the new language. So the Spanish frailes, they were really important to accomplish this, to accomplish the next step of the conquest, which was the religious conversion of the population. And then we have the chinaco, which is a word for to design a mestizo that used to work on the fields. And now we have this element, the Mexican in the horse and the lady on the sombrero. It's part of the elements of the new. That's part of the element of the new identity that we somehow express to the world. Because we don't know, people who grow in the city, we don't use hats, we don't use sombreros, but somehow this is part of our identity. In some point of the history timeline, we have people like that with sombreros, and they used to be farm workers. They used to work on the lands and las haciendas, and la mujer with trences, which is the long hair with the clay pot. That's also part of the many Mexican movies. They depict the Mexican girl like that, with this type of description. So Emilio Vasquez was really interested in develop this problem of the Mexican American identity, and for him also was important to use all these elements to somehow give us more elements to understand this identity. So I think he's a great painter, and we are honored to have this mural at the museum.